Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to talk about Square-Enix because I personally am very interested to see what the Japanese do with Square-Enix. We reported a couple of days ago that they're laying off a good portion of their Western staff, employees, I would say developers, but I don't think these people really develop anything. They develop problems for Square, but they're laying a bunch of people off. And yeah, it's not going very well. They're getting a little salty, but they're definitely cleaning house. And I think this is a long time coming. Square has lost the plot. Square has put out Western style titles like Forspoken and Marvel, and all of these things have failed catastrophically, right? They need to get back to basics. What works and what works for Square is JRPGs. Like, they need to do good JRPGs. Clair Obscur should have been something that came from Square. You know, a decade or two ago, well, probably 2 decades plus ago, that would have been a Square game. That would have been a very typical type of experiment that Square would have done, and they don't take chances. Now, they, again, release this Western AAA crap, and also they just re-release, Final Fantasy games forever, or other better titles. We're going to take a look at what's going on now. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, you still have time. You still have time. We're going to leave this open for a little bit. You can back Geeky Sparkles Kickstarter campaign for her Christmas pins. We're going to shut the campaign down when we basically run out of pins. We placed an order, and whatever the overage is, we're going to let people get those, and when we're done, we're done. Now, some people have tried to add on to their purchase, I guess, your pledge after the fact, and apparently Kickstarter, how it works is once a campaign closes, like actually closes out, the official close, you can't add anything or change anything, which is kind of annoying, but we'll see what we can do. We had a couple people send messages. We might be able to, just send you a link and you can just, buy them from us directly. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a neon pin. I know you guys wanted the neon snowman. We did not hit 15,000 before the campaign closed. And even if we did, I don't think I can make any changes to it. I can just leave the existing campaign open a little bit longer. That seems to be the way Kickstarter works. I'm going to have to remember that going forward. Again, we're still relatively new to the current version of Kickstarter. We haven't really used it a whole lot. I like it so far, I'm going to be honest, but we'll see. So just letting you know, you do have some time yet. Anyway, let's talk about Square. We didn't do this to pimp our campaign or close campaign. So Square's been laying a bunch of people off, and most of them are in the West. And this is the second round of layoffs they've had in a year. And this company is not doing great. Let's be honest, we've been covering it. And their Hail Mary pass was the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's doing okay. But it's also a very expensive game, and it's not resonating with everyone, I think, the way that they were hoping for. I know a lot of older fans like myself would have preferred turn-based combat. We would have preferred something that was a little more one-to-one with the original game. That's not what we got. But look, the only reason we got anything was they know they can go back to that Final Fantasy VII well, and people will buy whatever because this is Final Fantasy VII, which is really freaking sad when you think about it. Like, how many Final Fantasies have there been, right? Since 7, how many decades has it been? And 7 is still the most bankable Final Fantasy. It's just very weird. Like, instead of trying to beat Final Fantasy VII, which I would argue they have several times over because I wasn't like a super huge fan of 7. 6 was better. Hell, I think 8 was better. 9 was definitely better. 10, I think, was better. But I digress. But yeah, they keep going back to that because those characters are iconic. I mean, regardless of what you think about the game. And they did define JRPGs for a lot of people. But yeah, the only reason we got that was they're hurting for money. They're trying to make up losses, I believe, from all these Western flops that they put out. This is why we get so many reissues of games. That's why we're getting Final Fantasy Tactics again, finally. But yeah, they're trying to blame AI. This is coming from the HR Digest. They're like, Square-Enix announces layoffs, shifting the blame from AI ambitions. I'm going to tell you that's not actually what's going on. Not completely. Do I think some jobs will be replaced with AI? Yes. And I did a whole video about this the other day. It was like a half-an-hour rant about AI and how I believe it's being used as an excuse to get rid of underperforming employees or people you just don't want. In the case of Square, they're Western employees or California employees. They don't want them. Why? They're a pain in the ass, and a lot of them are activists. That's my opinion, right? So Grums pulled this up from, I believe, LinkedIn. This is John Heinecke. Let's see here. John Heinecke. There we go. John, okay. I guess it was a reunion. John, or is it Heinecke or Heinecke? The chief publishing officer and head of the Western branch of Square-Enix has officially resigned ahead of the new waves of layoffs. Now, he basically was given a choice. You either leave on your own with the severance package or we push your ass out. You know, they do this to save face, so the next job, he didn't get fired. He didn't get laid off. Right? Because even if you get laid off, they're like, oh, it's through no fault of your own, but I'm like, other people got to stay. That means you were not valuable enough to the company to keep, or they're getting rid of your division or whatever. So he was the direct voice of the Western market to Japan, according to the reunion, who has a whole bunch of information here. John said, yesterday I announced to my team at Square-Enix, I've decided to resign from my role as chief publishing officer effective on November 21st. Yeah. This has been a difficult decision as it means I must part with a very talented group of high-performing and passionate coworkers and friends across the U.S. and Europe. It has been my distinct honor to lead, to work alongside, and to learn from such an amazing team. I want to thank the Square-Enix leadership team for entrusting me in this role and giving me such a fantastic professional opportunity, and I want to thank my teammates and colleagues for their support throughout my 7 years at the company. Finally, I'd like to thank all of Square-Enix, all of their players and fans for your passion and enthusiasm. Your energy keeps our teams fueled more than you know. And yeah, he's done. And somebody here said, when AAA start pushing agendas gamers don't want to see, they pay for it by not buying the game. Fire the long-term failing CEO and the staff that embraced woke ideology. And he's like, oh, piss off. Look, maybe he's not being very polite about it. Maybe he's not candy coating it, Asif Zahor here. But John, he's right. Mr. Heinecke, however you pronounce your name, he is 100% right. Square has lost the plot. Absolutely. Now, you know, back to Grums, he was talking about Kate, is it Cwynar? How do you pronounce that? Cywnar. Kate C. So Final Fantasy XIV has replaced Kate C., the former lead localizer for Dawn Trail in the series, after her open hate and approval of political violence. Asmongold called for her to be fired. Okay, so I missed this whole arc. I know Asmongold plays a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, but apparently they were making some really shit comments. Let's see here. Final Fantasy XIV chat in their forums are dumpster fire, people posting they should not celebrate murder or getting shouted down. All the while trying to defend Square-Enix's localizer, Kate C., for reposting violent political rhetoric against the right. Hey, Square, why do you let this type of violent political talk and lies about Charlie Kirk fester in your games forum? Yeah, I mean, look, we've said before, you don't have to be a Charlie Kirk fan, but nobody should be celebrating political violence. Nobody should be celebrating murder. I mean, it was ridiculous. So yeah, this was just October. People that express any kind of relief, glee, or try to perform mental gymnastics to justify what happened are truly ontologically evil people. At least not enabling fascism. Oh my God, these people. It's always, as far as I know, Kirk talked with people. He debated young people at universities and was politically active. So are your words alone a reason for murder now? You do realize he was pro-murder, right? You do realize he died for the thing he said he was worth dying for. Guns, right? This person says, much as I dislike the man, no one should celebrate the assassination of someone over what they said, no matter how vile they think they are. I agree with that. You don't have to like him, right? But you definitely should not be celebrating, political violence in this country, right? Dude died doing what he loved, defending his own killer's right to murder him while being insanely racist and transphobic. His job was getting people to kill each other. Where are they getting this from? His job was getting people to kill each other. No sympathy from me. He literally reaped what he sowed. Well, people are going to feel the same way about a lot of these Square employees, right? At least they're not dead. They can go find another job, right? But that's a lot of these companies, they say this, but then they get all mad when people are happy that the people causing the problems in the video game industry or the comic book industry or the movie industry get fired because they weren't doing a very good job. They get angry about that. They're like, how dare you celebrate people losing their jobs? Well, at least they're still alive, right? They can go get another job, but they weren't a good fit for this company. They weren't a good fit for this industry. It's definitely apples and oranges here, people. But so this is their announcement, I guess, that they have a new lead translator, Paul Chandler. Thank you for your hard work these past years, Kate. You didn't deserve the harassment. Llama Todd and other. See, I don't know the lore. I know you guys are going to be in the comments and be like, don't you know who Llama Todd is? I'm like, no, I have no fucking idea who the fuck Llama Todd is. I'm sorry, Llama Todd, if you're watching this video, but I don't know who you are. I really don't. Harassment. Kate is the English localization manager for Dawn Trail and Final Fantasy 14. Oh, purple side shave. Okay. Oh my God. This looks like one of my AI pictures. Sorry, Kate. That's she's running, she's scrubbing and deleting her posts on Blue Sky because she has been reposting violent rhetoric against the right, the kind of rhetoric that gets people killed. I see this reposted by so this is if I remember correctly, they were talking about like America's living in the Confederacy and we have to okay, I think I remember this. Asmongold calls for Kate to be fired after reposting controversial political opinions. Okay, this has been causing a lot of stir, so it's an exception to Rule 13. The TLDR is that Kate reposted a couple political opinions that were heavily criticized by Llama Todd, and now Asmongold. I don't know who Llama Todd is. I'm sorry. Asmon claimed he got a Blizzard employee fired for posting similar things and is aiming to do the same now with Square-Enix. For context of the post in question, essentially boiled down to calls for purging conservatives from public life. Yeah, that's not a good look. And Japan, like, I think they're just sick of this shit. I think they're hearing about it and they're seeing it all over the place, right? They're seeing it in the anime industry and they're seeing it in video games and they're seeing it in manga publishing, whatever. And if they're moving to AI, I think it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be to get rid of localizers, because localizers tend to be the biggest problem, because they want to be the go-between. I mean, you want to talk about, stuff getting lost in translation. You can pinpoint a lot of the problems going on, a lot of the wokeness, all that stuff going on in video games and anime dubs back to the localization teams that want to basically rewrite stuff to be more in line with their ideology. And then they get mad when people call them out on it. And we've covered multiple examples of this. So if Japan is replacing these people, they're going to replace them with the machines that just do what they're told. Even if the translation's not the greatest, even if, the voice actors now are batshit crazy, a lot of them. And so they're going to start doing AI dubs, right? And they're going to use the Japanese voice actors and do English dubs with the Japanese voice actors. And that's how you take care of that problem. That is what I believe they're going to use AI for. Now, the larger, speak to the larger layoffs, it's to get rid of these people, 100%. It's not, the AI is being used as a very convenient smokescreen, like I said before, to fire people all over the damn place, because these companies know they got to go. So what do? Oh, guys, it's like before it was the Silicon Valley bank run. Oh, guys, we can't get any more venture capital. See ya. And then like the next day they're posting job listings. That's what's going to happen here. Oh my God, guys, existential threat. The AI came. We're going to replace y'all with AI. Oh, our sales are down. Oh, doom and gloom. Okay, they gone? Cool. Okay, let's just go hire some new people that actually do what they're fucking told and don't cause the same problems. I can almost guarantee you that in every one of these industries within the next 2 to 3 years, the unions will be excised, because the unions enable these people. Like we did the video yesterday talking about Teen Vogue. I mean, these assholes were chasing the HR guy who was just doing his job. They're chasing the HR guy down the hall and filming it and getting in his face, because they got laid off because the company is like, yeah, we don't want to do politics and heavy LGBTQ stuff in the teen fashion mag anymore. And same thing's going to happen here. They're going to use this as a reason to get rid of these people. That's what this is all about. Now, what they need to do is they need to go back to what worked. And they're starting to. There have been a couple of announcements I'm actually pretty excited about. But I'm looking at Square. Let's be clear. Square-Enix is not Squaresoft. Those two companies merged. Enix and Square. They used to be rivals, and they merged because Square blew all their money, all the money they made in the 90s off of these amazing games, including Final Fantasy VII. All of that money, they squandered it on the Final Fantasy movie. And it was a huge, huge financial disaster. And people, they jump into the comments and they're like, but I like it. Good for you. It doesn't matter if you like it. I'm telling you, financially, it was a huge disaster. It directly led to Square having to merge with Enix to survive in some form. And then Sakaguchi left the Gooch and he went and formed Mistwalker. He took a lot of Square people with him. So the company it's not the same company. There are some people that are still there, but it is definitely not Squaresoft. But you look at what they published back in the 90s, just that one decade, and it was just absolutely astounding. And they're still living off of the member berries. They're resting on their laurels. They're just reissuing the same games over and over and over again, because that was the golden era of Square. But like, just go back to 1990. We had let's see, Final Fantasy Adventure, which was Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy 4, 5, Romancing Saga, Secret of Mana, Alcahest. You don't hear anything about that anymore. Oh, that was HAL did that one. Breath of Fire was Capcom, but they published it because Square was known as the RPG company, so Capcom didn't publish Breath of Fire themselves. They had Square publish it because they're kind of like, we're the Mega Man people, we're the Street Fighter people. Live Alive, Front Mission, Chrono Trigger, more Mana games, Trials of Mana, Secret of Evermore, which whatever. That was US. That was US produced, if I remember correctly. Front Mission, they co-produced Mario RPG, Treasure Hunter G, to Ball number 1. Now, this is where it got really interesting. The PlayStation years, to Ball number 1, Final Fantasy VII, Bushido Blade. They re-released a couple of Final Fantasies. They had Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics, Saga Frontier, Front Mission 2, Einhander, Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon, Xenogears, right? Parasite Eve, Brave Fencer, Musashi, Ehrgeist, more Mana games, Legend of Mana Front Mission, Chrono Cross, Threads of Fate, Dew Prism, which they're not doing anything with that either. Just that 1 year, just 1999 alone in 2000 was insane. Like, they had the Summer of Adventure, and they had so many, Vagrant Story. What else did they have out that year? It was Chrono Cross, The Bouncer. Remember that? Nobody remembers that. It was, and then we get to the end of the line, and it's Kingdom Hearts. And then from then on out, it's just all Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy remakes. But Final Fantasy X-2 is actually their last Squaresoft game. And it's been pretty much, in my opinion, it's been downhill since then. Here we have the same guy going on about the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Like, look, you can say what you want, but when you're a representative of the company, I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We will talk later.